All right, well, we're one game into this Bradley Beal coming off the bench experiment. So far, so good. What Brian Windhorst said notwithstanding, but if you just go from a purely tactical decision, the Suns had to do something. They had to mix things up because now they have the big three playing and they still weren't winning games. So last night, look, it's not like the Sixers minus Joel Embiid are the greatest team in the history of basketball. I get that, but it's a road game. It's a win. At this point, you just need a win. You know this, Wolf. Like, you just win a game that can cure a lot, or at least start to point you back in the right direction.
Yeah, no, it's so, listen, it starts with one. It always does. Whenever you have the kind of 2 weeks that I think the Phoenix Suns have had right now, we'd all agree, my goodness, you've won one game since I've been on vacation. Now two. Okay, now two. But it starts with one. You've got to change the course. And sometimes when you get down and sometimes things continue to repeat itself where you start to see similarities in certain losses, and now you get into a game and you start by scoring 16 points in the first quarter after you made this change where Bradley Beal and Jusuf Nurkic were going to the bench. I still, there had to be some doubt over on that bench. Had to be some kind of, what is going on here? We scored 16 points in the first quarter after making this move. Coach Bud, what are we doing?
It did feel like kind of a critical moment, right? You make that move and you're getting blown out to start the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, if this game just plays out the way it's going and you lose by 20 or whatever and you're never in it, then, I mean, are you doing the same thing again tonight? Like, you're running out of options. You're running out of new things you can try. So it did feel kind of, especially when they took the lead, it was right around, they were both teams were in the 50s when they took the lead. And it was like, yeah, they need this. They need to, because not that they went all in. I mean, they went all in a year and a half ago, but they found another chip they could kind of throw in the middle of the table last night. You need to win something.
Yeah, and, once again, too, they were shooting, I believe, at the half, 38%. Both teams were shooting 38% from the floor. It was bad. It was not great, and yet they figured it out. They worked it out, and because of the young guns as well. Man, I thought Ryan Dunn played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Oso, I loved what Oso did as well. 21 minutes. Came in and gave them some good minutes. Ryan Dunn, of course, being put into the starting lineup, responded, scored 15 points. He played only 27 minutes, scored 15 points, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. That's really, really important right there. It's only one game.
Yeah.
I get it. It's one game, but at the same time, sure beats the alternative, doesn't it?
It does. And it's just, hearing you say the minutes, I mean, Bradley Beal went to the bench and played more minutes than Ryan Dunn.
That's right.
At the end of the game, maybe this is just me, the way I'm wired, but if I were playing, I'd rather have the more minutes than, okay, I was out there to start the game. Like you said yesterday, who's out there to close the game?
Right.
And I mean, there was good imagery in that game. There was good optics of Bradley Beal being very supportive of Ryan Dunn. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of rift between those two. Here's Ryan Dunn after the game. He was asked what Bradley Beal told him.
Keep doing what we're supposed to do. Don't worry about none of the media and the critics and the criticism about any of what's going on. Keep doing your job, and I give Brad a lot of thanks. That's the guy that I look up to on this court, and he's been handling everything very well. He's been trying to encourage me to keep going, and, not worrying about himself, worrying about the team. I think we need that a lot. So I give Brad a lot of thanks for that.
That was one of the things right there that kind of bothered me. Can I just say that? Just because, did you see where Bradley Beal had him hugged up and was walking off and talking to him?
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. Just don't make it obvious that you're doing that. That's just me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying Brad did it. I'm just saying I feel like after listening to what Ryan Dunn was saying, that it was an open gesture to make everybody else feel okay. And maybe that's why he was doing it.
Maybe they needed that.
And maybe they needed that. Maybe I'm just getting a little too picky here with my locker room etiquette. But to me, I would do that based on names. I'd want to have that conversation with Ryan Dunn privately, man to man, privately.
Yeah,
Just
maybe he
listen.
did too.
And maybe he did. but it was like he wanted everyone else to see maybe that it was okay. And maybe that, hey, listen, however Brad has got to process this, maybe I should give him a break.
Well, I mean, he played really well last night too, in addition to being there for Ryan Dunn. This is where it goes back to my sort of.
I'm getting too technical. I'm sorry. I am. I'm rejecting myself right now. Okay, when to me, Basin Reams, as a man, do everything on the up, not via agenda. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Live your life, man.
I guess this is where my confusion with this whole conversation still a little bit comes into play. This is not you're benching the veteran quarterback for the rookie, and Bradley Beal played more than Ryan Dunn. You know what I mean? This is not, hey, Aaron Rodgers, we just drafted Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And granted, Bradley Beal's handling a lot better than Aaron Rodgers did or would. But also, I mean, if you're benching a quarterback for his backup, well, in theory, you go from playing 100% to 0%. This went from, hey, Brad, you're going to go from playing 30 minutes to you're going to play 30 minutes. Like, that's literally his last two games. He's played 30 and 30 minutes. So what really changed other than, when he played?
And by the way, Aaron, we did the same thing with you.
Yeah, that's true.
We did the same thing. You did it to Brad. Okay.
It feels like, I mean, there's no way Aaron Rodgers is going to end up on the Vikings. But if he did, he would have followed the exact
Oh, my goodness. Path. There's no way that's going to happen now, of course. But man.
Now you can just go. If that had happened, you could go ahead and pencil Jordan Love on the Jets in about 12 years. But that's not going to happen. Here's more from Ryan Dunn after the game on the TV broadcast.
He don't care what he do as long as he gets a bucket. I don't care. He can do that all night. It's just that's who he is, and he's a scorer. That's what we need from him on this team. And he came out and had a positive energy, positive mindset this whole time. He was never negative about it. And he did his thing tonight.
That really fits the mold of Bradley Beal, though, right? It does.
That makes a lot more sense.
It does. I mean, honestly, when you stop and think about it, we had that conversation. We had that conversation before the season started on Suns Media Day. We had that conversation where he was talking about joy. We played the cut earlier as well. This is who I think Bradley Beal truly is. So why not go out there and play with that kind of joy?
I 100% agree with that. Bradley Beal has never given that impression of like if you went up to him and you're like, hey, Brad, this is miserable. We're losing like basically 7 out of every 10 games. It's not your fault, but the only change we can really make is put you on the bench. You're still going to play as many minutes. Can you really see Bradley Beal being like, no, I have to start. We'll just keep losing. I have to start.
Do not see that.
Yeah, so I don't know. The other thing with this too, I mean, the issue with Beal has not been his play. It's been, can he stay on the floor? The starting lineup has been so disjointed this season because it's different seemingly every night. If Bradley Beal has to miss a game now and he's coming off the bench, it's not that it's not disruptive, but it's not disrupting your starting lineup at least. Like maybe your starting lineup can actually get into a rhythm now. Not that they're all like invincible to injury, but maybe if he has to miss a couple games next week or something, it doesn't throw everything off again.
Yeah. By the way, just for me, in regard to the starting lineup, the fact that Ryan Dunn and Mason Plumlee got the starts for the Phoenix Suns right there. We were talking about this briefly yesterday, but to me, I really like that. And the reason why I like that is because I think the Phoenix Suns need a lot more toughness and defense in particular. So when I think of that, I think of a guy like Mason Plumlee, and I was saying this yesterday. He's more mobile than Nurk. He is. He's more aggressive than Nurk. If you watch him, especially around the rim, watch Mason Plumlee work. He's more active, he's more athletic, and he's more aggressive. And I think that Ryan Dunn is a better defender even now, right now, than Bradley Beal. And I think his length can really bother some people. And if he's going to go out there and go 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, done.
Yeah, no pun intended.
No.
As much as we were talking going into that game last night, oh man, the Suns have dropped 7 of 10, which is not great. Oh, they've dropped 7 of 10. The team they're playing tonight has dropped 18 of 19.
Okay, yeah. Well, 27 losses they have on the season?
7 and 27. Charlotte's, they've won 1 game since before Thanksgiving. It's after New Year's.
Oh, my goodness.
So not a great holiday season
Boy.
for the Charlotte Hornets.
You know what, honestly? Even I haven't gone through that.
That is a rough stretch, man.
That's brutal.
They beat Detroit in overtime on November 21st. November 21st.
Oh, my
And they've won
goodness.
one game since then, and it is January 7th. So the Suns need to not let them get right tonight, obviously.
That's gasp.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.